Hi DJ. It's raining outside, so he likes to spend time in the shop with me. Hey, starting this video out with, I got the engine painted and got it serviced, got a new coil, new spark plugs, new oil filter, got a new air filter to go on it, and then I've put some heat paint on it, and I have a bunch of the motor parts, and that's the dash part right there drying. And then we look up here and I have the whole chassis painted, and I went with black on it. Black covers so much better. The yellow would have been terrible to try to get it to cover back in yellow. I did try to paint the fender with this paint right here, which is supposed to be pretty good stuff. I'd rather use the Rust-Oleum Professional, but they don't have the color like that in it. And I put 2 coats on there, and it still looks bad. So most of this thing is going to be black or white. I think I'm going to do the hood in white and the front end. There's the front end piece right there. Get it painted white, do the hood white. All this is going to be black, and then the dash will be black. And I'm going back and forth about where I'm going to put the pump. And in case y'all haven't already noticed, I'm not going to use this upright as a tank like I started out to do. I don't want to have to worry about it leaking. And actually putting the pump back here and tying it into here. Somebody gave me that good idea, so I kind of like that. I was actually going to put it underneath here and then build a tank to go in the front up there, but there again I'd have to worry about whether it's going to leak and all that kind of stuff, so I just really don't think I'm going to do that. So let's get this video started. I got the motor and the front end piece put on there and got the dash piece painted, and I put this on here because I'm making a bunch of changes to this dashboard. Need to cover up a bunch of holes, so this used to be up here. I'm actually going to have it down here now and have a switch up here. I've got one new gauge to go in here, and I'm going to put one of the old gauges back in there. I'm kind of at the stage right now to where it's a lot of washing parts, priming parts, painting parts, waiting on paint to dry. Well, I thought about running the exhaust up, and then I thought I'll run it out the side right here. Still got to cut these off the same length and finish weld them, but I thought that looked like a little header on there, so I like that pretty well. I'm going to take this exhaust off here and get it finished welded. Custom dual exhaust for a lawnmower engine. Ready to go. I've been procrastinating about what to build this bucket out of for this thing because I haven't really found the right kind of steel that I want. But then I looked at this over here, and this is an old water tank from a well system, and I think I'm gonna cut it apart and use it. It'd be cheaper to buy me a new garbage can than it is to buy the steel to build the bucket out of. After several hours of finishing off a Diablo blade, cutting with a Sawzall blade, with a grinder with a cutoff wheel, I took 3 of these pieces and welded them together, and then cut this lip off right here to where I would have a piece of 1/4-inch plate steel, the length I need to go across the bottom of that. But I'm still going to have to take this piece and cut me some triangular pieces out of it to use on the sides. Let me get this piece put onto that piece. So I got that piece welded on the bottom of there, and I got these pieces made right here that have the radius of the tank on there, and they'll basically go something like that. But I don't need the mount or the pivot point so close to the bottom of the tank. So I've got one piece of this original cherry picker left, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it along here and along here, and that way I can utilize these holes to put pins back in across here, and then essentially each one of these pieces will fasten on something like that, and that will be my actual pivot point. And then I'll have to just tie the 2 pieces of steel together with steel. Alright, I got those pieces cut and put on there. I'm going to try to get them tacked in place and move the bucket up and down and make sure nothing's going to be in a bind with them like that. So here's the tank with the legs on it for it to pivot off of. And I still have to, well, this will be the top of the tank running along here. I'll still have to put a piece of angle on there and figure out how to get my cylinders on there and where they're going to end up on here. So I got the gas tank in there and plumbed up the fuel system, got it ready to go, but I don't have fuel in it yet. I got the lights wired up, and I did all of the wiring under the dash, and then got everything on the dash, and I have the power hook to it. So this is going to be the first time I'm going to turn the thing on and see if what lights up. And alright, there we go. There we got power showing 13.1 volts. This should turn the lights on. Yep, lights are on. And this should bump the motor, which I'm just going to bump it just a little bit. It's pulling it in, but it's not engaging it. So let me check into that and see what's going on there. Well, the starter that was on here was locked up, and I kind of tapped around on it and got it to spin, but then this wouldn't come up and engage the flywheel. So I went out to one of the other motors and got another starter off of it. So let's see what this does. Oh yeah. So that's doing good. But see, that thing, when you start it has to turn the pump and everything. So I'm a little worried how it's going to do having that other pump on there too, that it's going to have to turn. So I'm going to have to do something with that, but we'll see. I'll get some gas put in it and see if I can get it started. I just want to put a little bit of fuel in this thing and let it run, just to see if it's going to start and what it's going to sound like. Not much. Not hardly enough to grab your feet, I don't think. Let's try it. Almost.
Put a little more gas in it.
I may have to hook the fuel pump up. I didn't hook the fuel pump because I thought it would gravity feed good enough from here, but I mean, with that little bit of gas in there, it's not going to push it in there well enough, probably. Well,
you probably got to put your fuel pump up.
yeah, I guess I am. Alright, I put the fuel pump back in line to it. Let me see what it's going to do, if that's going to help it any or not. And my shutoff works good. That's good. Hey guys, that's going to do it for this video. And y'all be sure and like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.